What's up, issue? For today's video, with a full Ceruledge team, I'll be using 6 Ceruledge with all different movesets. Derek, this one is for you. So, Ceruledge is a pretty awesome looking Pokemon. It's got some big blades. It's a ghost type. I guess the only bad thing about it is like it's shiny because it doesn't even change much. I wish they did something a bit more there, but apart from that, it's a really, really cool Pokemon. So it's got some pretty good stats there. We've got Weak Armor and Flash Fire as the ability, so I'm going to be building sets all around them. Today we got 6 battles and had some really, really good ones. Our first opponent here is a random person, so if anyone wants to translate the trainer name, let me know. This Ceruledge set is going to be probably one of the worst sets on my team, but it is pretty funny. So I did notice Ceruledge got stored power as a move, and I thought, oh, this is really cool. I'll give it Calm Mind or something like that, but it doesn't even get any moves at all that remotely boost special attack. So what I had to do is I had to give it Iron Defense, Sword Dance, and Destiny Bond and stored power. So I use Weak Armor to increase my speed to boost up stored power, and I used White Herb as well so I could get rid of the defensive drops, at least, initially. And then I used the Iron Defense to build it up. Unfortunately, my opponent swapped into me Scarlet, so I'm like, oh, I can't do it anymore. So I was sort of just sitting here boosting up my stats, kind of hoping they'd go for like a protein move, into something that wasn't dark. But of course, they went for knockoffs. I'm like, I've got no choice here. I really have to go for Destiny Bond and Faint Ceruledge. So I think I made up the worst Ceruledge set you could possibly ever use. Is Ceruledge anybody's favorite Pokemon of all time? Let me know in the comment section. What do you think of Ceruledge? I think it's a really cool Pokemon. I really, really like the design of it. It's nice. I know there's always Ceruledge and Armorogue, those Pokemon were meant to be really, really, I guess, really important for Scarlet and Violet. I think I like Ceruledge a little bit better than Armorogue though. They're both really cool looking Pokemon. Alright, we're going to go into our second Ceruledge here. We got a Rotom Wash. We got rid of that Meowscarada with Destiny Bond. Here comes the Sunny Day Ceruledge. Now, this is interesting. The Rotom's going to go for a trick here, and it's actually going to trick me a choice item. And I was hoping it'd be a choice bam, but it was choice spec. So I'm like, okay, that's still fine, So I've got Solar Blade and Terra Grass. So I'm going to be going for a Terra Grass on Rotom because Rotom's actually a very, very big counter to my team. And with Terra Grass on Ceruledge, it's actually a nice Terra because it can bait out people to go for a fire move, and it works with Flash Fire, right? So we're going to be going for a choice specs Solar Blade here. I am locked into one move, which kind of sucks, but that was enough to take out the Rotom. So I was very, very happy about that. The EV spread on this, you probably want to know. So it was max attack and max speed, Jolly Nature, and I also had Citrus Berry as the item as well. Flare Blitz and Poltergeist were the other moves it gets. So Poltergeist is a powerful ghost move that it does receive too, but not as many people use it. They tend to go for Shadow Sneak and stuff like that, but it still is a good move that can be used on. So here comes the Taurus again. Now, this Blaze Taurus, the Paldean one, actually is hard countered by Flash Fire Ceruledge because if it can't use any normal moves, it can't use any fighting moves, and if it uses a fire move, Flash Fire is going to absorb it. So I was kind of curious what they were going to do, but they swapped out. Then they brought in the big old Hippo. Now, this thing is really, really tanky, and I've got Flash Fire. They actually went for a Raging Bull, and then they went for a Raging Bull and swapped out there. And then they brought the Hippo in, which had the Citrus Berry and had Sand as well. It was interesting they had Citrus Berry though. I thought that's a bit strange. Does that mean they don't have Slack Off on there? That's kind of weird, right? Because mostly it's good with leftovers. Not so, well, there's not really a need for Citrus Berry in my opinion. So anyway, they set up Stealth Rot, which is a very, very good counter to this team, obviously. We're going to go for Shadow Claw and try and go for a crit. Now, this is like a fully critting set, this Ceruledge. It's Shadow Claw, Night Slash, Psycho Cut, and Flame Charge resist there for speed. Terra type Dark, and I also had on there Flash Fire too, max attack and max speed, Adaminator on that one, really putting everything into attack. So we're going to bring back in Ceruledge number 2. I've got Flare Blitz on this, and I'll also have Poltergeist. I can't use Poltergeist, if you remember the Citrus Berry got consumed there, and I took out the Hip Powder, which is great, because this team is very weak. So any ground moves, rock moves, stuff like that, you know, completely destroy me. So in comes Flutterlame here. It's going to get its little boost here, and that's going to get a speed boost. So there's really no way. I was like, I doubt I'm outspeeding this, even with those flame charges up. So we've got a Terra Flutterlame. Who would have guessed that one? And it's going to be Terra Fire. I'm like, wait a second. Are they going to take the bait? And they did. They took the bait, hook, line, and sinker, baby. And they gave me a Flash Fire boost on Flare Blitz. And it just completely took them down to 1 health. I was like, wait a second. How did they live that, right? And then the Sandstorm, you wouldn't read about it. The Sandstorm subsides on 1 health. I'm like, are you serious? I still don't know how Flutterlame actually lived that. Like, how did it live that? That was an adamant-natured Ceruledge. How did it even, with a Flash Fire? There's no way that, I guess the not very effective saved it, but even still, it doesn't have very great defense, so I guess that saved it. Anyway, I still had my Ceruledge, the special one here. I haven't got to show this one off, with Vacuum Wave there. So we're going to vacuum up that little ghosty and get rid of it. So this is a PIMPNITE special here on this Ceruledge set. So this one has got Fire Blast, Shadow Ball, Vacuum Wave, and Clear Smog. Now, I mean, this was a no-joke team too. This person was not playing any games here. So they've got that Dragonite, they're setting up Dragon Dances, and I had Clear Smog. So I was actually able to remove their Dragon Dance boost. So they probably were fairly salty about that. And wouldn't have expected that. So I've got Shadow Ball here. I was thinking that's my best play, and then they unloaded the Scale Shot. So as soon as I seen Scale Shot, I knew that Dragonite would most definitely be loaded dice, right? So Dragonite got, I think that was all 5 hits there on my Ceruledge, which is a bit unfortunate. I was hoping for all 5 hits there. So I was hoping for 4, but it never happened. So I was like, okay, well, you know, the only good thing about that, it is dropping its defense. So I might be able to get around that with that priority move. So next Ceruledge here, Ceruledge 1, this is the Choice Banded set. I've got a Shadow Sneak for you, and that is some good damage on Dragonite. Really good damage. Now they're going to go for another Scale Shot here. Ceruledge 1 was Bitter Blade. I had to give Bitter Blade to Ceruledge. It's a signature move. It's such a strong move too. Bitter Blade, Close Combat, Shadow Sneak, and Iron Head. Terra Steel with Flash Fire. Quite a good set here, actually. Then they actually failed to take me out because they only land 4 of them, and they swapped out and went back into the Taurus. I was like, all right, well, Taurus is going to have to take some damage. What is Taurus going to do to me, right? Are they going to cross their fingers and hope that I don't have Flash Fire on this set? And guess what? They did that, and they rolled the wrong one. Like, not all of these had Flash Fire either, so they were a little bit unlucky. I could have had Weak Armor, so that's going to be the end of this. Taurus has been trolled the whole time, so Taurus is down there. It's like possibly the worst Pokemon to verse against this team. Last Pokemon is Dragonite. They don't have the defensive drops anymore, but I've got the Shadow Sneak, and it is Choice Banded, and that is going to take out the Dragonite. What a W there. Look at that team, man. That was a very meta team, except for the Taurus. They got trolled so hard there. All right, thank you to my random opponent for the battle. I hope you enjoyed Flash Fire on the majority of my Pokemon. I had it on 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. 4 out of 6 had that. All right, next battle here. Random battle. We got a Clodsire lead, and I've got my special Ceruledge. So this is really funny, right? I actually got a critical hit in Psycho Cut, and it lived on 1 health. I'm like, is that got us Focus Sash? But then I seen the air balloon. It's like, come on. It was like the Flutter main live before, but then they got the 1 HP live on Clodsire. So the merch is available, right? So Clodsire got 1 Toxic Spikes up there, and I got to take it out with Flame Charge. So that was a very, very nice start there. I mean, they got one layer up, but at least it wasn't two, you know? So our next Pokemon's going to be Deoxys Attack. And I was thinking, this is actually kind of good because I've got a Flame Charge up. I might be able to outspeed it, depending on what the nature is. Deoxys is just an absolute animal, but it is a very, it's like the definition of a glass cannon, right? It just unloads massive power, like powerful attacks, but, you know, dies in one hit. So Deoxys is going to have that dank pulse. That does not faint me, which surprised me a little bit. So I'm guessing they're running a mix set on there, which it definitely can do. It's very, very good for that sort of thing. And they're going to be swapping out and going into Porygon 2. Now, I have seen so many Porygon 2s lately. I think it's because of this event. Like, people thought, oh, well, you know, Porygon 2 is one of the best ever light Pokemon in the game. I mean, it was before that event. We're going to spam it even more now because this event thing, right? So now the Porygon 2 is going to set up Trick Room. Now, I can't use any ghost moves against this at all. So I really need to get some good damage here. Porygon actually fails to take me out with the Ice Beam. I guess they couldn't use Tri-Attack. And Tri-Attack, Ice Beam is its main two like moves it always has. Then it'll have like Recover and some other things like that too. Maybe a status move or two. And Ceruledge is going to faint to that. So I thought, you're probably going to go for Recover this turn. Maybe I should just go for Close Combat and get rid of this because I've got the Choice Band. And there's a pretty high chance that it's going to stall here and try, Toxic Stall me. So we got Close Combat. Here comes the Recover. The Recover is very obvious. I was like, this is going to do good damage, but will it take it out in one shot? And it did. It's such an insanely bulky Pokemon we've ever definitely one of the, I would say hands down the best ever light Pokemon in the game is Porygon 2. And it's got some pretty good competition too. So I guess they figured they didn't really have much to do here. They didn't want to swap any other Pokemon in, so they went for another Recover to try and Toxic Stall me a little bit there. But Porygon was down, so that was good. That was a good counter Pokemon if I didn't have any fighting moves, which I didn't. I think I only had Close Combat on one of these. So they're going to bring in the Deoxys again. I do have Shadow Sneak, but I can't use it at all. I thought about this for a bit. You've got to use Dark Pulse again. I might need that. I haven't seen all of Deoxys' moves either. I love Deoxys. It's an awesome Pokemon. Let's go into Ceruledge 5 here. So Ceruledge 5 is my special set with Vacuum Wave. I thought this might be a go here with Assault Vest. And I lived it really, really well. This is max health and max special attack modest nature. So a bulky set with Flash Fire. So I know they're never going to predict a Vacuum Wave on Ceruledge, and I took Deoxys out, so that was really, really cool. So we got rid of Clodsire, Deoxys. Apart from Deoxys, there's two. It's funny because like two bulky Pokemon and then one glass cannon. So in comes Rillaboom here. I was like, all right, well, Rillaboom is going to get close to taking me out of Grassy Glide, but then they popped the Timmy Terrace. So I was like, all right. You're going to fate me with Grassy Glide at this point. I don't have enough health to live this. I do have max health, but, it's going to be hitting pretty hard with grassy terrain and the Terra at the same time. So I was hoping for the live and then to go for the Fire Blast, but to no avail. But that's okay. I've got 4 other Pokemon, so a Grass-type Pokemon was probably, the least of my worries. So bringing back in Ceruledge 1, I've got Bitter Blade. They're going to keep spamming Grassy Glide. That's probably what I'd do as well. There's not much else it can do. Does incredible damage to me, but Bitter Blade is just going to absolutely demolish Rillaboom, and I'm going to get a lot of health back with that one, which is good for sure. Now, if you enjoy the videos, people, and you want to support the channel, make sure you drop a like there and leave me a comment about Ceruledge or just how your day's going or whatever. I love to read my comments. Please do that, everyone. It's helped support the channel, and also it helps my videos appear in your subscriptions and the recommendations and stuff like that, because YouTube, it's not like the old days. Alright, so we've got Typhlosion coming in here. I was kind of curious what they were going to do. I was like, well, you're going to go for a ghost move, but what one? But they threw up a substitute. Like, oh, okay, so this is a problem. I need to get rid of this substitute. So they had leftovers as well. I was like, what is this set? Is it a bulky Typhlosion? So I've got Ceruledge 2 here at the moment. Now, Ceruledge 2 is the Sunny Day Solar Blade Flare Blitz moveset with Poltergeist. So I thought about this for a bit, like, well, you're probably not going to use any fire moves on me, should I just go for the attack? I decided to go for the attack here. I did outspeed Typhlosions. That straight away told me this is some sort of Trick Room set, you know, with the Porygon, because I was kind of curious why they had Trick Room with... Obviously, Deoxys wasn't a Trick Room set, but this definitely was. I wouldn't have outsped it anyway. And they just dropped me an Infernal Parade there. So I'm like, all right, your sub is gone. You're exposed now. I'm going to have to one-shot this. I need to do this right. So Typhlosion is back to full health now. We're going to bring in Ceruledge 1. This was the Shadow Sneak set. And I was like, maybe should I try and bait them with the Terra Steel? I decided against it. Shadow Sneak does not take them out. That was Choice Banded. The substitute, I think, missed by 1 health or something. Oh, little bro had to be salty about that. That was very, very close. I mean, they could do it now after the leftovers and then the grass, but they just missed it. So I can go for another Shadow Sneak and take out the Typhlosion, unless they want to swap, you know. So the grass is gonna disappear from the battlefield now. I can go for a Shadow Sneak and take out Typhlosion, so that's good. So interesting sort of team there. I guess Trick Room worked well on everything but Deoxys. I don't see that being like a slow set, unless they gave an Iron Ball, which... Of course they didn't. And we had another Pokemon here, which was Qianpao. Now, Qianpao was a good Pokemon to go against, but it was also a counter because it was a Dark-type Pokemon too, so they could, you know, absolutely rip through my Ghost-type Pokemon. They're going to go for a Psychic Fangs there, and that's the end of Ceruledge. I got some Shadow Sneak damage off. My last 2 Pokemon left here are going to have to be able to deal with Qianpao. So I broke its Sash if it did have one. This is the terrible set, so I think I can finish it with the Destiny Bond if I play this right. So I knew they'd be able to outspeed me. So we're going to get ourselves a Weak Armor to boost the power of the stored power, right? Because that's going to increase our speed. So I thought I'll go for Iron Defense. And the thing about this is you can use... it's such a terrible set. You can keep using this to increase your defense, and then when it gets very, very close, I can go for a Destiny Bomb. But I was a little bit worried about maybe an Ice Shard or something like that, or something along those lines, a priority move. Not so much Sucker Punch, but Ice Shard. Clearly they didn't have... they didn't have a dark move, or they didn't want to use it. So I got some more boost here. Ceruledge is literally on its last legs. I'm going to go for the Destiny Bond here. I couldn't use stored power again. I was pretty salty about that because that's happened like a few battles in a row now. And thankfully, Qianpao is going to gobble up that bait. And that is the end of Ceruledge. And that is also the end of Qianpao. It is going to wow out of this battle. Yeah, that was their last Pokemon too. I still had 1 Ceruledge in the back if things got nasty. But thankfully, they didn't. Thank you to my random opponent there. Let's get on to battle number 3. All right, we have another random opponent here. I think the name is TKI or TKL or something like that. And this one was a no restrictions battle because it was level 100. So they actually had a Ceruledge on their team, and they led with it. So I went for the Shadow Sneak on their lead, and it was a Focus Sash set, which a lot of them are. Like Ceruledge, usually Ceruledge works nicely in singles with Focus Sash and Weak Armor and Sword Dance, right? And with its Focus Sash, even if there's Stealth Rocks on the field, its signature move can get its health back, Bitter Blade, and then it can retain it. So, interestingly enough, they went for a Phantom Force here. I was like, oh, okay, Phantom Force. Like, there's typically a lot better Ghost move to use than that. Like, there's like Shadow Sneak and Poltergeist. Even Shadow Claw is probably a little bit better, but interesting they had Phantom Force. So, I'm going to go into my Ceruledge 5. There's nothing I can do here. I'm going to lose a Pokemon, absolutely. So, that's the end of Ceruledge 5. So, I thought, all right, well, it is in range to take out with Shadow Sneak. Do they have Shadow Sneak themselves? Do they have both moves? I wasn't, really, really sure. So, Ceruledge 6, this is the shiny one, by the way. Its eyes just changed. Now, I got a question for y'all. If you were to change Ceruledge's shiny, what would you do? What color or scheme would you give it? I would like to see if it's blue. It's like blue and it's like a dark purpley color, right? I think something like maybe a lighter color would be cool. Or how about this? Ceruledge gets Armoroke's color, and Armoroke gets Ceruledge's color and shining. That's actually a smart idea. That would actually look pretty cool. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I'm trying to imagine this as red. I think that would look really, really cool. Anyway, give me your thoughts on that one, what you would do. I like that opposite thing. I think that it was sort of like maybe the Laties, you know, how they got the in Megas. So anyway, we got the Sneasler coming in. I'm able to take that one out here, which is pretty good. I did get poisoned by the poison touch though, so that's a little bit unfortunate, but it's okay. I was able to get some health back. Next Pokemon's going to be your homie Frisbee, and that is going to be Terrafagus. So that's a fair play for a nickname there. It's kind of is like a Frisbee. I'm trying to remember the last time I played Frisbee. Man, that was a long... Actually, no, I think it was a boomerang. Like, I used to have a boomerang, right? No joke. Like, I'm Australian and stuff, right? So, I don't know where I got it. I think someone got it for me because I want to throw this boomerang. So, I threw it as hard as I could. It soared into the air, like... And it never came. I could never get the thing to come up. And then one day I threw it at a tree and snapped it in half. So I was very upset about that. So that's the boomerang incident, all right? I could never get it to come back. I can get it to like curve, but not come all the way back to me. There must have been some like, specific, technique how to throw it. But, I never figured that out when I was a kid. Anyway, I'm just reminiscing on the past. We're going to bring in Ceruledge 1 here. We're going to take this Frisbee out with a nice close combat. So I had to break its ability, and I kind of had to sack a Pokemon there and go for close combat. So I've locked myself in a close combat now. Now, there were some pretty scary Pokemon on this team as well. So now we've got Dustmane Necrozma. I was like, I would love to hit this with another move like Bitter Blade. So how about I do a swap here? Maybe we can get Ceruledge 3 to Destiny Bonder. That was my idea anyway, the stored power set. So Outrage doesn't do a very big amount of damage there. So I thought, oh, this is my chance. Maybe I could do this, or maybe I could even set up the stored power. I don't think it's going to do very much to Necrozma, but maybe if I get enough Iron Defense and boost up there, I might be able to cause a swap. So getting up their Iron Defenses was a priority with this incredible set. Here comes another Outrage, and I'm leaving those attacks pretty well. The cool thing about the Iron Defense and Weak Armor, Iron Defense is still raising my defense, and Weak Armor is still boosting my speed, so it's kind of like low-key fire. But the problem is once you max your speed out with Weak Armor, then stored power damage actually gets affected. So it's bad then. You've got to go for a stored power, or you got to go for Destiny Bomb. So Ceruledge is going to get hit by another attacking move here, and then it got confused. I'm like, is it going to attack me? What are they going to do? So I went for another Iron Defense here. I was a little bit scared they wouldn't feint me with a move here, because you've seen the damage to Outrage, right? Like, gee, I don't think they're gonna, they're gonna be able to feint me. If I go Destiny Bond now, it'll be a failure. However, the Dustmane hits itself in confusion. So like, all right, I'll go for another defensive boost here. So they still got them chickens flying around them freely, and they went for Photon Guys. I'm like, oh no, that's bad. So maybe I should have gone for Destiny Bond there, but they were pretty adamant about using Outrage. I thought, I guess they didn't have that, so that sucks. I could have got rid of that Pokemon. So I was like, all right, it's fine. We'll go into Ceruledge 2. I think I can take them out with a Sunny Day Flare Blitz, no worries. I was a little bit dubious to use Poltergeist, so I'm like, do they even have an item? Like, who knows? You never know of random battles, right? So setting up that Sunny Day, hoping that Necrozma will hit itself in confusion, right? Here comes a Photon Guys. I am really craving a food right now. I'm really, really craving Korean barbecue. Like, if you've had that before, I'm absolutely craving it. It's something that I've only had a very, very few times, but it's really nice. I'm absolutely craving it at the moment. Anyway, you know how you have I have certain food craving I haven't had for like ages and ages. Anyway, I probably made some poor soul hungry out there. They're watching the video. They're going to comment in the comment section and tell me off. All right, so that's the end of the crossbow. In comes Kottmeistern. This is where things started to get a little bit nasty. So at least they couldn't use any fighting moves, but it still had Dragon Claw, and that's going to take Ceruledge 2 out. So I got a bit of a problem here. So I've got 2 left, and they got 2 powerful Pokemon left as well. I wonder if you can guess what the other one is. So Ceruledge 1 is on the case. I've got Terra Steel. I thought that might be a clever idea to go for Terra Steel, and then they go for Flare Blitz, right? But what if they go for Collision Course afterwards? That's a big risk to burn up my Terra, but I thought, you know what? I'm going to go for Terra Steel. I don't think they're going to predict it. I'll lift the Dragon Claw, and then it's like a 50-50 chance then they go for Flare Blitz or Collision Course. But the thing I was worried about is they probably won't go for Flare Blitz if they got Collision Course, because Collision Course is going to do more damage, right? But then I was thinking, well, I've got another Ceruledge on my team that's a ghost. Maybe they'll think not to go for that. So I was like, man, what do I do here? I live the attack. I got some good damage off there. Do I go for the swap here maybe into the other Ceruledge and finish it off? I decided to go for the swap. I got cold feet thinking they go for Flare Blitz, so I changed my mind and went back into Ceruledge, and I guessed right. I was like, oh, thank goodness, you know, because there was a chance they could go for that. They knowingly knew that I had a Ceruledge. Then they went for a Dragon Claw on my next one. Psycho Cut is enough to take out the Kottmeistern. Thank goodness. So I saved myself there. That Terra saved my my backside. Last Pokemon, speaking of backsides, is going to be Murano called Jet Fart. Oh, so this was a. I mean, I say this pretty much every team video. Kottmeistern, Murano is such a good counter to this team, right? I didn't. Oh, here comes, and the Timmy Terra on top of that as well. So it was Terra Electric, Electro Gist. I'm like, oh, like, I don't have it. There's not much that's going to live this. Even my Assault Vest set with max health, that would be struggling to even live that. So Ceruledge 4 is going to fall to the floor. So I've got one more Pokeball left. Ceruledge 1. This is the choice set. I've got Bitter Blade, but I'm not feeling I'm going to outspeed that. No way. So I went for that Shadow Claw and crossed my... Sorry, Shadow Sneak. Crossed my my fingers, and it wouldn't have been enough anyway. So Miraidon is going to press the A button, and that is the end of the battle. But still a very, very good battle there. Just the Kottmeistern and Miraidon, funnily enough, are quite good. Especially Miraidon. That's a difficult counter for this team. A very, very easy counter for my team. If I had like... I don't know, a Terra Ground, that would have been excellent. Anyway, let's get on to battle number 4. Hope you're enjoying the video so far, everyone. We have got a random battle. This one is against, I think, Jury or Jurai. I don't know how to say that. But we've got... I don't know. Did they fail spelling wolf? I'm not sure what's going on. Were they about to spell wolf and then, you know, out of nowhere their finger spasm and press the W? I'm not sure. Or maybe maybe it means something else. Whoa. Is it the sound it makes? I don't know. I think I'm completely over-analyzing a random person's nickname. So we got Shadow Sneak here. We're going to clean that up. Obviously, they went for the, you know, a lot of people when they seen this team, bang, turn 1, they go for Stealth Rock, right? That was their insta play there. You know, and they also had stuff like other counters in the back too. So in comes the Corviknight, and I was like, this is an interesting play. Maybe they're going to have a Terra here. So they went for Terra. I was like, they have to go for Terra. What's it going to be though? Obviously, it's not going to be weak to is it going to be some defensive one? And it's fighting. So straight away, I'm like, okay, you've got body press, don't you? You're Iron Defense body press set. There's no real other reason to go for the Terra fighting. So I went for Bitter Blade. It did, you know, a little bit and had Rocky Helmet. So now they're going to set up the Iron Defense. I'm like, okay. That's all well and good. You can do that. But I'm just thinking, you've got... Let's think about this for a sec. They've got Iron Defense. They must have Body Press. They must have Roost. What are they going to do to... What are they thinking of doing to the Ceruledge, though? Like, are they going to try and stall me out? So I was like, oh, I'm staying into this matchup. I'm setting up Sword Dances. Why they set up the, you know, the Iron Defense. Because what are they going to do? iron head. So, and then they salty head. So, little homie realized he did the wrong thing there. Salty cancelled. Oh my goodness. I think they were like, oh, wait a second. They didn't fall for the bluff or something. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, let's get on to the 5th battle here. This is a battle against Lychee, and we got a cool theme team here as well. Let me know if you can guess what it is. So we got an Orthworm lead here, and I don't know why I'd led with the stored power. That's why, I swapped the Ceruledge out versus the Orthworm. Don't roast me too hard. So this is a special set. I thought I'll go for Fire Blast because your Orthworm's got some pretty nice defensive bowls, so it could live that, but not special defense. Special defense is trash. So we roasted that worm, right? That worm got even more redder. All right, next Pokemon here. Actually, that's a good pick for that. It's gonna have the Quark Drive, and it's gonna get Attack Rise. Like, ooh, okay. So this special set would be pretty good here. So I was like, let's go for Clear Smog. So it goes for Thunder Wave, Iron Valiant with Thunder Wave. I was like, oh, okay. This has to be some sort of troll flinching set, right? That's what I was thinking. So I got Raw Paralyzed the first turn. I was like, that was a bit unlucky, but it happens. Then it went for a Scumbag Double Team. Like, oh no. So it's getting some evasion, and it's got that up. So I got the Clear Smog off, and I got the W right because I got rid of the attack boost and the evasion. So I was like, yes, Clear Smog Ceruledge is putting in some work again. Then they had Fury Cutter. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna lose to that. So I'm gonna go for Clear Smog, and it dropped it. So that is the end of the Iron Valiant. So it was like some sort of set to stall you. Accuracy and paralyze, then build up the Fury Cutters and sweep you with it. I see. Next Pokemon is going to be the giant Salt Rock here. Now, my feeble attempts to go for Vacuum Wave are going to do very, very little damage. And to my dismay, it is going to have weakness policy. I'm like, oh no, is this going to be a Garganacl sweep? And then it popped the Rock Polish. I'm like, oh no, this is ultra bad. If it's got and depending on what ability it's got, if it has Purifying Soul, that would be very depending on what it has there too. So I'm gonna get dropped by an Earthquake. This is very, very, very bad. So I'm gonna be going into Ceruledge 2. We got that Sunny Day Solar Beam set, so I thought if I go for Terra Grass and hit Garganacl in the ass, we might be able to get a W right. So we're going to go for that Terra Grass here, right? Expecting an Earthquake, and then I should be able to do it right. So we got that big old flower. It actually doesn't, it actually suits it, but you think the flower would be on fire or something. I don't know. Unfortunately, Garganacl went for Stone Edge, and that clapped Ceruledge's cheeks, if you can even find them. Very, very good. So I was like, man, is this it? Did we lose here? We're going to go into our Ceruledge 6, and this is the Focus Sash set. Also, this battle might seem a touch lower quality than the other ones too, compared to, because this was done on a very small screen during like a stream, like there was like 2 gameplay, so it is a little bit smaller there, but that's the only reason. It was still done on the Switch 2 as well, I believe. It was still done on the Switch 2. But yeah, I am running on the Switch 2 as well. Everything is running very, very smoothly. So we're able to get around that with a fat close combat, which was really good there. In comes Necrozma. So I thought, well, I've got Bitter Blade that would get my health back. I've got Shadow Sneak as well. What should I do here? Should I get some damage off, or should I go for Bitter Blade to get some, some recovery and damage? I decided to go for Shadow Sneak, so that was good damage. I was happy with that. This is going to have Night Slash. I'm like, ooh, I've got a good idea here. So Necrozma's quite a bulky even like a meme set, right? So I thought, this could be time for the Iron Defense store. This is such a terrible set. I love picking up these sets that are absolutely woeful and terrible to use, but then you somehow get some good use out of them. So actually, I got critted there, which is really good because that put me on a low amount of health. So White Herb is going to And I also am going to get countered by this set too, because it seems to be like a fully critting set. So I thought, this is great. I've got a speed boost now. I can outspeed. I can go for Destiny Bond here. There's no way I'm going to go for Iron Defense, because you know I'm going to get critted this turn. I feel like even if I didn't, I wasn't going to live that. So Necrozma's going to go for its Night Slash, and that is the end of Ceruledge number 3. Yeah, that was a crit too. So that's Ceruledge 3 down, and that's also Necrozma. Nice. See, Necrozma was very, very unhappy about that. It did like a big, it almost looked like it was crying there. All right, we got Hydreigon coming in here. We've got Ceruledge 4. So Ceruledge 4, hopefully is going to put Hydreigon on the floor. Actually, maybe not. Let's look at those moves. It's not looking too good. Speaking of which, Ceruledge 4 is going to get paralyzed by Dragon Breath on the first go. I'm like, oh, come on. And then I've been paralyzed a fair bit in this battle so far. So I got paralyzed the first turn, and I was like, all right, I got to get some attack off there. I didn't even get a chance to do anything. I was just paralyzed this entire battle. Like, my synchro got captured. I was paralyzed, right? Okay, we're going to go into Ceruledge 1. I've got that close combat. I've got that fat fist. Let's go for that. I'm going to get outspeed here. No paralyzed, which is good. And close combat is going to absolutely decimate the Hydreigon, thank goodness. However, I am stuck only using close combat. I can't do anything else than that. So I'm hoping this will be good against the last Pokemon. And it was. I was like, ooh, this is a gift, a Christmas come true, right? I just have to press the A button and I won. But I smelled a rat, I smelled a fat rat. Because I was thinking, this could be bad. I couldn't select any other moves. I would have gone for Bitter Blade if I had the choice. So then we see the Terramite. Okay, please don't be flying. Please don't be flying. And it wasn't flying, it was Bug. I was like, oh no. So Bug is going to resist the close combat. I was like, this sucks. And I'm also going to drop my defensive stats are also dropped previously from the one before there, right? So I've got 2 defense drops, and this has got another Fury Cutter Pokemon, and that does donkeys. However, I'm locked into close combat now, and Fury Cutter is building up power. So like, it's Terra Bug, it's Fury Cutter. I think this is gonna hurt. This may even take me out this turn, and it did. I was like, oh, that sucks so much. So that is the end of the battle. A really cool team and a cool battle there. Hope you guys enjoy this one. We've got one more battle left in today's video. I think now we're going to have to do a Armor Rogue team, right? Because we've done Ceruledge, it only feels right to do Armor Rogue. Last battle here, this is a battle against Beppo with Pickles, and we've got a Skarmory lead here. So, Skarmory, now some of these are like a few of these last theme teams are some of the last teams I did. Some of them could be on the Switch 1 or in like a bulk recording. So I think most of them were from the Switch 2. But there might be, I feel like, I'm trying to see if there actually was any from the Switch 1. But anyway, if there's a few that have random different qualities or something, or little glitches, that was my last couple on the Switch 1. So we got a Skarmory here, and it kept flinching me, like, back to back with, it had a Dank Pulse and Air Slash, and I kept missing a Fire Blast, right? And I was thinking, I don't want to be the first Ceruledge in history to lose to a special Skarmory, so I'm going for Fire Blast. Like, yes, finally. Skarmory wasn't even taken to its Focus Sash. It was an Assault Vest Skarmory, a special Assault Vest Skarmory. So I went for a Desperation Vacuum Wave, and it still didn't kill it. I was like, no. Guys, I almost had to quit Pokemon here. Like, I almost had to, I just had to uninstall, Pokemon Scarlet after that. I just got my Switch 2 and I had to uninstall it. So going into Ceruledge number 4, and that is the end of Skarmory, right? We'll just pretend that one didn't happen, right? But as I was saying before, I think now that we've done a Ceruledge team, I think it'd be pretty cool to do an Armor Rogue team. Would you like to see that? Let me know. I do enjoy these 6 Pokemon teams. I like the adapting to them, making a physical attacker, making a special attacker, making a tanky set, getting around your weaknesses for them. I really, really like that. So eventually I would like to do every single Pokemon, but I'll probably be like 1,000 years old by the time that happens. All right, we're going to do a swap here. Ninetales is a dig set. That actually did a lot of damage to me. So to counter the mighty dig Ninetales physical set, I had to swap into my Citrus Berry set here. So this has Poltergeist. I'm not going to go for a Flare Blitz because it's got Flash Fire, and I went for Poltergeist. It's like, wonder what item it's got. And then it was a scumbag Bright Powder set. I would never use that item, by the way. So that's the end of Ninetales. It's down. Next Pokemon is right on these nuts. So I've got a Solar Blade, and I've got Sunny Day. I didn't think I'd be able to live this turn, so I thought, you know what? I'll set the sun up. That might benefit my other Pokemon in some way. Rhydon is going to be a Mud Slap set. I swear everyone uses Mud Slap against me. So that's one drop. I was a little bit worried that I might miss. And then I thought I missed for a second, but there is a bit of a delay when you use Solar Beam against, Solar Blade and Solar Beam. There's always that little delay on the two-turn moves, even if they go on that turn initially. So I landed that one, but Rhydon actually managed to live that, which was pretty fire. It's definitely an Everlight set. I got hit by a second Mud Slap. I thought I missed again, but I actually landed. So Ceruledge 2 with Solar Blade was actually quite handy in a lot of the battles against. Especially against water Pokemon and, ground Pokemon. It's quite good for that. Next Pokemon's going to be Dragonite. I went for Poltergeist. Dragonite, dodged the attack and then went for Aqua Tail in the sun, and it missed me. I went for Poltergeist again there, and I thought it missed again. Dragonite's got a Focus Bed. What are these troll items? So that did, nothing to Dragonite, and Dragonite's got to go for an Aqua Tail. Now, Aqua Tail is this new meme that people are using against me because I'm not sure if you remember, on the vehicle Pokemon team, I had this roly-coly with Steam Engine, and I was versing a Palkia, and I was about to get my Steam Engine, and then Palkia used Aqua Tail, and it missed, and then I ended up losing because it missed, and I was so salty about that for like a week. So that's why people like using Aqua Tail against me too. I'm just getting you guys up to date with the lore, So that is the end of Dragonite. Out comes Toxapex. I'm like, whoa, what's this set gonna be? I got Psycho Cut. That was a fat crit there. Looking at that damage, like, there's no way that wasn't a crit. Toxapex has got peck. Toxapex, get it? It's got them pecs. That takes me back to the terrifying Toxapex. Those good times. Hopefully one day I can do that again. So I got another Psycho Cut, and it was another crit as well. I rolled 250% chances there. This obviously is Scope Lens, and I took it out. Last Pokemon's going to be Inferno, the best starter Pokemon that ever existed. Currently up to now, and that's the end of Ceruledge. We're going to bring in Ceruledge 3. So I thought, this is the perfect time, guys. Are we going to get the stored power kill? I was waiting my entire natural life to get this set to work, apart from just going Destiny Mon, So I got that White Herba Mystica, and I'm going to keep going for them Iron Defenses. So this is Terra Psychic, as you can imagine. I need all the help I can possibly get. Then we had a Terra this turn. So I was like, I really, really hope this isn't Dark, because I'm sick of Dark getting scalp against Dark Pokemon, and then I can't do Store Power. So it was a Terra Flying Inferno. It's like, oh, okay, that's cool. Got them some big balloons there. Have you guys ever grabbed a balloon, a helium balloon, and put it in your mouth, and then you speak in a real high-pitched voice for 10 seconds or something like that? So anyway, I'm back to the story. I'm getting sidetracked here. So Ceruledge is going to be setting up as many boosts as humanly possible here. That Thunder Punch is doing nothing, but it got a Paralyze. I'm like, oh no, don't you dare. Weak Armor is still going to activate, but I was worried about the Paralyze. I really was, because I wanted to get this move off. So all right, I'm paralyzed. It's now or never, right? If I get paralyzed, maybe I can get around this. I've got a bit of bulk, so I might be able to live a couple of turns. So we got that Terra Psychic on the Ceruledge, and I got the Store Power up. All right, let's go. Let's get this damage here. And it was enough to take out Inferno, only because it was not a bulky Pokemon. And that's the end of the battle. Cool team there. Hope you guessed it, and hope you enjoyed it. I'll catch you next time, people. Peace out.